Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Eric Adams, swagger man with no plan, flew the coop for a full week in the midst of this mishigash, this hot mess he created over a year ago when he welcomed in all of the illegal aliens. Because he said, we can do it better in our sanctuary city than other sanctuary cities and other sanctuary states. And who are you, Governor Abbott, because you're a racist? Look at us now. We're drowning, and we have no lifeline. And this mayor has decided to be like Pontius Pilate, wash his hands, and then his many travels in the state of Israel, the size of New Jersey, going from Hoboken down to Camden. He will stop at the site where Pontius Pilate made that decision before the Pharisees to crucify Jesus Christ, even though he said, why don't we just crucify Barabbas instead? No, they said 2 for 1. Okay. But knowing that Jesus Christ wanted to die for our sins. I mean, that was always the master plan. So enough of that. All right, enough of this music. Well, you may not know the inside information that a number of ex-Cuomoite staff members have now joined the Eric Adams administration because he is drowning. Siena poll came out, and Kathy Crime Wave Holcomb's numbers are plummeting, as are Eric Adams, especially on the issue of the illegal aliens, plummeting. If elections were held tomorrow, Lee Zeldin would beat Kathy Crime Wave Holcomb, and yours truly, Curtis Sliwa, would beat Eric Adams. No doubt about it. But there are many other factors that might contribute to an election defeat or election victory. But on this issue, they lose, and they lose overwhelmingly. So I know what happened, because I've known the way the Cuomos operate. When their backs are to the wall, they don't call anybody a racist. That's what Eric Adams does. You're a racist. Whenever you get the best of him, whenever you have him on the run, he calls you a racist. And remember, white people, you're all crackers to him. You're all white crackers, except when it comes time to get donations, because he knows your checks don't bounce. And then he needs you. He needs you to get elected, and potentially, he thinks, warped as it is, to become president of the United States somewhere in the future. But let's talk about his consigliere, who is Andrew Evil Eyes Cuomo, King Cuomo II, the son of Mario Faccia Brutta Cuomo, King Cuomo I. He is listening in Fredo's compound in Southampton. Fredo meaning Chris Cuomo. And their wartime consigliere, Joe Percoco, with his baseball bats, just having left federal prison, a 6-year bid for political corruption. By the way, at the eulogy that Andrew said for his father at St. Vincent Loyola on the Upper East Side, he said that Joe Percoco was more of a son to Mario than I was, than Fredo was. And he was right. Because this guy, Joe Percoco, will go out there and will bend your leg and stuff it in your pocket, whatever the Cuomos tell him. But in this particular case, Andrew Cuomo has been speaking directly to Eric Adams and telling him when all else fails, what you got to do, you got to patronize Jews. You got to go to Israel as he did on many occasions. You've got to treat the Jews with condescension, and you got to be supercilious. Now, you like those $5 words, right? Right? Multisyllabic, they just rolled off my lips. It's like pig Latin when you're in jail. They wouldn't know what it's like. I certainly do. But the fact is that communicating now on a regular basis, Andrew Evil Eyes Cuomo is his consigliere. And he says, when all else fails, go to Israel and pledge yourself to the state of Israel that you're its number one supporter. And even though you're a Gentile, you're a righteous Gentile and a Zionist. Now listen to Andrew Cuomo, because this is what he said that Eric Adams, swagger man with no plan, should say.
He is saying it is time for the Shabbos Goy. The Shabbos Goy can do the work that benefits both the Jewish community and the non-Jewish community. The Shabbos Goy can turn on the lights on the Sabbath, because it benefits everyone. It is time to turn on the lights.
So you see, he's advocating that like Elvis Presley was a Chavez Goy down in Tupelo, Mississippi, and Colin Powell, who grew up in the South Bronx, was a Chavez Goy, who did things for the Orthodox, the observant Jews, that they couldn't do for themselves going into Chavez, going in this Saturday. That Eric Adams, similarly, is like a Chavez Goy. And yeah, he's been weaning on this. And Andrew Evil Eyes Cuomo Disgraziata has been telling him, Eric, you got to make references to figures of Jewish law historically and religiously.
Tonight, my father, the late great Governor Mario Cuomo, is sitting with the great Eleanor Esther El Capole right now. And I will tell you what he is saying.
What a fake, phony, fraudulent fugazi, right? Yeah, you're channeling your father? Oh, that's right. He never called him his father or daddy or pops. He called him Mario. Mario, accendeme tu si provianos facim. And you're, as is Andrew. But I digress. So let's see if Eric Adams, swagger man with no plan, had learned his lessons as he was on his first day in Jerusalem. He was asked a question, simple question, of what he was most looking forward to on his trip to Israel.
What are you most looking forward to on this trip? Is there a site or
food?
What is he most looking forward to on this trip? The food? No, come on. He didn't say that. Really? Come on. Hey, look. Come on, Lou. You must. Did you Photoshop that? Photoshop. No, you do that with pictures. Did you truncate that? Did you cheese box that? Let me hear that again.
what are you most looking forward to on this trip? Is there a site or
Food.
The thing he's most looking forward to on the trip to Israel as he escapes the inferno he's created back here in New York is the food. He could have taken a road trip through Far Rockaway, right? Past Bayswater, over in the 5 towns. I mean, there are dozens of really good kosher restaurants. And its host could have been Dov Hikind, the former Democrat for so many years, who just recently, he and his family became Republicans. Because supposedly Eric Adams is over in Israel to become better at talking about anti-Semitism. Listen to former Assemblyman Dov Hikind speak about that yesterday with Sid Rosenberg.
The mayor is trying to figure out how to fight anti-Semitism. If you remember, he recently went to Greece for a conference on anti-Semitism because he's still trying to figure out how do you deal with it. Now he's off to Israel, and one of his agenda parts is, he wants to figure out how to fight anti-Semitism. Well, one way to fight it, Sid, is to recognize here in New York where it's coming from. Who are the perpetrators? Who are the people who are assaulting Jews, knocking yarmulkes off people's heads, and all the other things that are going on in our city? And you and I have discussed this for the last couple of years. It's emanating from the minority community.
Absolutely right. Dov Hikind now and his family lives in 5 towns. I'm suggesting that Dov Hikind enroll Eric Adams. He formerly served in the state legislature with him in the Dov Hikind anti-Semitism boot camp. Yeah, enroll him. Hey, Eric Adams, I know you can't hear us. You're too busy dancing the horror. Wait till you hear about this video he did that was sent out by the Consulate of Israel. Oh, my God. Partying until the break of dawn in Jerusalem. Anyway, before we get to that, though, Eric Adams was asked another softball question while they're in Israel.
and you said you might want to retire in Israel. Were you sincere about that?
I love this. I have around about 8 places across the globe as one of my retirement places to be. I love Senegal. I love Nigeria. I love Israel. And I got a few more I want to keep a secret so the press won't be able to find me when I retire.
What the hell is he talking about? The last time he said he wanted to retire in the Golan Heights. Nobody retires in the Golan Heights. What does he think you Jews are schmucks, putzes, schmendricks, pishers? He really patronizes to you. He treats you with condescension. He's supercilious because he thinks just because he goes to Israel, you're going to vote for him. Oh, he went to Israel. Meantime, everything's falling apart. In little Israel here, where there are more Jewish residents than anywhere else outside of Israel. That's what he's banking on. And so now he's added to it because he can't find Golan Heights on the map. Hey, idiot, it's right up near the Syrian border. He wants to retire to Israel, Nigeria, Nairobi. No, he won't. Senegal, I've been to Dhaka. No, he won't. And he won't be in Israel. We all know that. You know where he's going to retire? To the big house in chains and shackles for all the corruption at City Hall. Not the White House, but the big house in chains and shackles. And, of course, what was he doing in Jerusalem? He was raising the roof. My God, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, my God. You got to look at this video. He's playing the tambourine. It's almost like everyone's holding hips. They're going around in a circle. They're calling him the Black Mashiach. The Mashiach has returned in the form of the Sephardic, dark-skinned Eric Adams. He is the Mashiach. He is the Mashiach. Not. How dare this guy go over and party to the break of dawn in Jerusalem? He'll probably do it in Tel Aviv. He's the nighttime mayor here. Hey, why don't you stay over there and be the nighttime mayor of Tel Aviv? They got great nightlife there, Eric Adams. Do us a favor. Don't come back to the mess you created. We'll take care of business. We, the people.